In this video, we're going to go over templates, how to use them, and how they work. So we have buy-side templates, which is what we're going to focus on mainly in this video, but I'll explain real quick. Pre-contract listing templates is for listings that you don't have under contract yet. They're listed for sale, but you don't have a accepted contract. And then pending listing is for listings you do have a contract on. These two work together. So if you're familiar with SkySlope or similar back office software, you'll have a pre-contract listing checklist. And then once you click under contract, you'll select a pending listing template, and those two will work together, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a later video. But for now, we're going to focus on a buy-side template because they're the simplest, and they'll show you how templates work, the nature of how they work. So as you can see here, we have four templates with duplicate to edit on them. These are not editable. These are templates that we created in the background for you to duplicate. So I duplicated one here. You can also change the name of templates here. You could delete them, and you could make sure, so you can manage your templates. But we're going to create a new template here. Before we do that though, as you can see, I have four default templates for you to copy if you'd like. One is no HOA financing, no HOA cash, HOA financing. So that kind of covers all the basics. So we have a new template here. We're going to do test. And this is going to be no HOA and financing. And we're duplicating this so you can edit it. This is now going to be your new template to use. And we'll select this, and this is no HOA and financing. So we'll create that template, and now we can make full edits to this template. All right, so now that we have a new template that we can actually edit and is yours, we're going to show you how it actually works. So the biggest thing about templates is the automation. Automation, essentially, this tells us the due date automation for send earnest money deposit is due 2 days after the effective date. So you are essentially using these key dates that will be entered when you make a new checklist, and we'll show you that when we make a new deal and make a new checklist. But these dates are used with the automation that we have set up in the template to automate the due dates on your checklist. That way you don't have to create a milestone and then manually enter a due date, or in other types of CRMs or softwares, you create a task and select a due date. This is just automated for you based on the effective date or the deposit date or any of these other dates that you input when you created the checklist. I hope that made sense. So for example, another one would be the final walkthrough. This is due 0 days before closing. So it's due by the closing date. Or schedule final walkthrough 3 days before the closing date. So it's just telling the app that 3 days before the closing date, make this schedule final walkthrough due. Make that the due date. So yeah, that is how the automation works. I hope that makes sense. And it probably will once we go and create a deal. But another feature of templates is emails. So as you can see, this is an auto email that will be sent once the milestone is marked as complete. So when you check off this milestone in your actual checklist, once we create one, it'll automatically send that email. As you can see here, this one's green because there's an email there. This one's gray because it's blank. Once you actually type in here, it'll create it and make it green. So these three have auto emails. The rest are not set up. You can come in here and edit this to, for example, schedule closing date and time. Since this is going to be sent when it's marked complete, you would put, and the milestone is scheduled closing date and time, you could put closing is scheduled. And then, just write congrats or see you at closing. You can write whatever you want here. It's an email, so you might want to be a little bit more formal, but as you can see, that's green now, and that auto email is able to be sent once you mark the milestone as complete. Other features of templates include being able to drag and drop. You can also add rows here, which is why we added the drag and drop feature, because if you want to put this milestone after you add it up here, because maybe it's something like a little bit closer to the beginning of a deal, then you could do that. You can also delete milestones. And another thing is, I think we skipped over this, is the reminders. So reminders are sent via email to you only. This is saying that 1 day before the due date, send a reminder about ordering the inspections. So just so things don't slip through the crack, you'll get an auto email if you have this reminder set up. And you can set this up to apply to all. So if you have 1 day before due date and you want to apply that to all of the milestones in your checklist, which I'd probably recommend because you probably want to be reminded of something being due the day before, regardless of what it is, you can click apply to all. And then that will be applied, and then you click save. You always want to make sure to click save, and you'll know that it's saved because it went gray there for a second. If you don't click save and go back, it might not save your template, and you'll have to redo things. But I believe that is all when it comes to templates. We'll move on to deals next, most likely.